That time I got reincarnated as a true dragon by NautyManu. Chapter 35 The Demon King 2 Boom ***. A huge explosion happened due to the malfunctioning of the magic circles. When smoke dispersed, everyone but Leorg was unconscious. Even he was barely hanging on. Oh, you do have some skill to survive. Since that's the case, let me give you a little reward. Saying so, Anos walked towards the corpse of Zeps and casted a dark, ominous magic circle. Soon his corpse began to twitch and slowly, like a zombie, started to move around. "You, what have you done, you monster?" shouted Leorg, seeing how Anos was disrespecting the dead. Now don't jump into conclusions just yet. What I am giving you is a chance. Team up with your brother and face me together. "It hurts, brother, it hurts. Why did you kill me, brother? Why?" screamed the now zombified Zeps. "Are you joking with me? Can that thing even have intelligence to think? Isn't better to end its misery?" Saying so, Leorg casted attack magic and blasted it towards Zeps, but what he didn't expect was Zeps' retaliation by casting a even more fierce magic. Seeing his magic was overpowered easily, he quickly to the side to escape a fatal blow. "How he didn't have that magic power to support that spell," exclaimed Leorg. "It is because of the magic Igram, which resurrects the user as a zombie. While in this stat, the user would feel the previous negative emotions he felt and will seek revenge by using his emotions as a catalyst. Now you can team up with your brother, since he is more powerful than you, right? Teaming up would at least allow you to survive more in a battle with me," answered Anos. "Are you out of your mind? That thing will kill me before anything," said Leorg while cursing. "No, that would not happen. Even in this state, Zeps is still your brother. So call out to your brother, make him remember the times that you two shared the bond as a family. Show me that the bonds of family is still sturdy as it was in the old days," shouted Anos with passion mixed into his speech. With his speech as a signal, Zeps leapt into Leorg with magic circles in his hands. As Zeps coming near him, Leorg began to remember the times he spent with his brother, the times both of them played together. All the happy memories he had were pouring into his brain at that moment. Instinctively he shouted, "Zeps!" Boom! A huge explosion engulfed both of them. When the smoke died down, what was left is the two corpses of Zeps clutching the heart of Leorg. Well, that was anticlimactic. Who would have thought that bonds between a family member is just so much? In those days, even when someone was in a zombified state, they never lost their bond with their family. Sigh, what a disappointment. Well, at least he remembered who he was fighting. That's a plus sign, right? Mumbled Anos as he walked towards the duo. Misha, who was forgotten, thought. He is brutal. As he was near the two, the arena that constructed began to crash down due to the two rapid explosions that happened. Sigh, what a tiresome duo. If I left you there and try to stabilize this arena, you wouldn't be resurrected. If I ignore it and try to revive you guys, the others would be dead. You really are making me work a lot," said Anos while already making various magic circles in the air. Misha, seeing this many magic circles, thought, as expected, he can defy common sense like it was breathing. "So now do you understand your mistakes?" asked Anos, smiling at the kneeling Zeps and Leorg. After saving all of them, Anos made the culprits reflect on their mistakes. But as you can tell, both the siblings just wouldn't openly admit it, especially to him. "Well then, see you guys later. Oh, and if you two want come and play again, tell me beforehand, okay?" Saying so, Anos waved at them and began to resume his journey with Misha. "Never, you monster. I would rather die than face you again." He completely ignored the ramblings of those two. Turning to Misha, he said a little apologetically, "I'm sorry about that, Misha. I hope you didn't mind that much." Misha shook her head and said, "It's no problem, I watched a good show." "Is that so?" said Anos, unable to understand what is so interesting about a childish fight. After that, without any more interruptions, Anos safely escorted Misha to her home, and went back to his home by using Gatham. After that he went to bed to enjoy his sleep before going to school tomorrow. Before long he was fast asleep. But what he didn't know was the glowing yellow eyes that appeared in the darkness. Looked like he used more magic than before and is tired. Tisk, just when I was free to beat some sense into him. Sigh, whatever, I will just teach him tomorrow. Saying so, the eyes disappeared like they never existed in the first place. It is a grand day for the Demon King Academy, as today is the day the generation of chaos who in the prophecy is supposed to have the reincarnation of the Demon King of Tyranny. And in one of the classrooms the door of the class opened. From there came a unique pair. One wearing a boy wearing the white Demon King Academy uniform that is worn by the commoners while having a different badge from the rest. The other is a girl with slivery blue hair. She, unlike the boy, wore the red Demon King Academy school uniform that is worn by the royals, while she also has a different badge on her uniform. As soon as they both entered the class, they gathered everyone's attention. To anyone, gathering this much attention will probably make them freak out, but for the two of them, it is nothing, as they have experience dealing more crowd than this. The boy smiled a cocky smile and announced, "Good morning everyone, the class is under my control now. I will kill everyone who opposed me." *Bam*. Chapter 36. The badge. Rimuru slapped the back of Anos's head, making a huge bump appear on his head. She shakes her head seeing his "Why did you hit me" look. Sighing at his airheadedness, she walked into the classroom, completely ignoring him. Anos also followed Rimuru while internally wondering, why the hell did she hit me that hard? That joke was a popular one back in those days. Both have walked inside and wondered where to sit when they saw an acquaintance sitting on the last row. It Misha, who was sitting lonely at the last desk in the classroom. Most of the people seems to ignore her presence for some reason. Seeing there is no one occupying the seats next to her, they both decided to sit there. "Good morning, Misha." Rimuru greeted her as she sat on her seat. "Good morning," greeted Misha back. "Hey Misha, did you like my joke?" asked Anos, eagerly waiting for a good feedback. "What joke?" Misha tilted her head and asked. "The one where I said we'll kill everyone that defies me." "Was it a joke?" Misha asks innocently, which damages Anos more than he thought. "Damn the difference in era," Anos cursed under his breath. "So Misha, why does it look like the others are a bit distant from us?" asked Anos to change the topic. "Well, they would, since someone went and threatened all of them at the start," said Rimuru sarcastically. "It is because of the badges you two are wearing," answered Misha. Both Anos and Rimuru were surprised to this information. Misha nodded her head and continued, "Yes, throughout the history there were no special cases like you two. First, Anos, you have the cross mark in your badge. Do you know what that represents?" Anos shook his head, letting Misha continue. "Throughout the history, every child, even the commoners, has a Demon King aptitude no matter how low it is, and what that cross signifies is 0, meaning you have no Demon King aptitude, making you the first misfit to ever appear in history," said Misha. Anos was flabbergasted by this. He, the Demon King himself, was called a misfit in his own castle. He didn't know whether to cry at this. In his lifetime he never heard something this nonsensical. "Wait, does my badge also means I have poor Demon King aptitude?" asked Rimuru worriedly, as she would get a little agitated when someone tried to challenge her pride just because of a stupid badge. If it was before her second reincarnation, she wouldn't even mind it and will just have her sweet revenge on them, but after being reborn as a true dragon, her instincts began to change, and being with prideful beings like Velgrin and Velzard doesn't help either. "No, for your badge is more special than Anos's." It was said during the times when the founder was still the ruler of all demons, he respected one person to the point that he would even kneel. And that person is the advisor of the founder, who was also prophecies to reincarnate with him. And that badge indicates that you are most suitable candidate that would be his reincarnation, which is even more believable since you wear the royal's uniform," said Misha, completing her explanation. Soon Rimuru activated her skill, thought acceleration, to the fullest and started a very serious talk with Seal. "Seal, explain. What did you do?" "It's nothing important, Master. I just used casualty manipulation and added a background for Master." "What do you mean it is not important? From what Misha tells me, I kinda feel that advisor is a big deal, and don't use casualty manipulation willy-nilly," Rimuru complained with a headache. "Don't worry, Master, I didn't go overboard with your background. Would you like to hear the full report of it?" replied Seal calmly. "You know what, I give up. Just hit me with the report. What worst that could happen?" said Rimuru, unknowingly raising a flag. "Yes, Master. Before the Demon King of Tyranny ascended to the throne, he was like any other demon. But unlike the others, he had limitless potential and unyielding will. But he still lacked something. And that was guidance. And that guidance was fulfilled by the advisor. He trained the Demon King in martial arts, politics, magic and many more. He stood by the Demon King's side, assisting him in various ways in the Great War. And finally he was there when the king decided to sacrifice his life to create the dimensional barriers. After the king's sacrifice, he was the one who delivered the king's last words to the people. It was also said that he, like the king, choose to reincarnate in the next life to be of help to him again. Legends say that if you were recognized by the advisor, he or she would have huge possibility to be the founder's reincarnation, as they are destined to be together. So the academy does a secret search on every student who would enroll in the academy. Oh, Rimuru had no words to comment to Ciel's ridiculous explanation. She took a deep breath and exhaled to calm her head from the incoming headache. Sighing in her heart, she stopped her skill from working and her perception returned to normal. I will look into that later, Rimuru said, making Enos, who was about to comment on something, shut up. She then turned to Misha and asked, "So Misha, could you say the founder's name please?" Misha is still expressionless, blinked at Rimuru and said, "You must not call out the awe-inspiring name of the founder." "Oh, then could you say my name please?" asked Enos. "Enos? No, I mean my full name? Enos Voldigode." Enos began to think about this for a few minutes and he finally said, "Hey Misha, I'm about to use leaks, so could you just say the name of the founder in your mind?" Misha nodded. Then Enos put a hand on Misha's forehead and nodded her to say it. "The founder's name is